I don't like TV. This is typically what I do. I'm kind of weird like that, but I find this comforting and soothing before bed. And so yeah, so this is kind of Megan's nighttime thing that I do. Well, hello guys, and welcome to Megan's late night kitchen show. I don't even know. It is 9 o'clock. The kids are in bed. They've been in bed for a while and the house is quiet. John's working on some Bible study stuff. And on Monday mornings, my husband actually wakes up early with the boys to do a men's Bible study. So I love to be able to prepare something for them that I don't have to wake up early to make sure that they get while they're doing their Bible study. So I'm going to take some time now to throw together some quick blueberry muffins from scratch that are super crazy easy. For some reason, I think people get really intimidated by homemade things like from scratch, like blueberry muffins. But guys, I'm serious. It's just as easy as opening a pre-made packet. So I'm going to show you the recipe that I make. And instead of, I am trying really to cut down on how much sugar that we eat. And I'm almost out of it now. But I love using maple sugar. It's literally maple syrup that has been dried and turned into like a sugar substance. So it's a natural, completely natural sweetener. So I don't have enough to make a full batch, so I'm going to be using sugar and maple sugar. But at least it'll help some to cut down on like the regular sugar. But you can use regular sugar in this recipe. I'll actually link the recipe down in the description. Like I said, it's insanely easy. Make them, they're delicious, and enjoy them. Okay, as far as ingredients, I did not soften my butter beforehand. I also am out of unsalted butter, and so I'm using salted Amish butter. So we'll see how that turns out. Probably good. And then about 2 cups of blueberries and milk. You're going to need some baking powder, all-purpose flour, salt, some vanilla extract. And I might actually, because it only takes 1.5 cups, I might actually have enough of this maple sugar left to go ahead and use all of that, and then a couple of eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this all together, not at the same time. We're going to start with the sugar and the butter and just creaming it together. And then we'll start to add the other ingredients. And the last thing we just mix in by hand are these delicious blueberries. All right, so I think we might actually have enough of the sugar for sure, because this is just shy of 1 cup. And then we need 1 1/4 cups. So I'm going to go ahead and pour what's left in here. Kind of makes me sad that I'm out. So I get this through Azure Standard. If you're not real familiar with them, they are like a bulk buying club. I don't know, I wouldn't call it a club. But they are a bulk buying company that usually they will have a drop near you. You can look up online. I'll put a link down in the description. But typically you can look up and see if they deliver in your area. And if they do, then there's all kinds of things on there. It's all like, so like organic flour, wheat, like if you grind your own wheat. Their oils are fantastic. I love to buy their olive oils and their avocado oil, their coconut oil. It's all a really, really good price. Some stuff on there is a little more expensive. You just have to kind of watch and just see. But everything that I have ever gotten is amazing quality. So if you like to cook from scratch, and you want ingredients that are mostly either produced or well sourced, then I would definitely pick or check them out. So anyway, so let's get back to this.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that.
Okay, so I am not a big measurer. I'm just gonna kind of wing it here. I'm sorry guys if that bothers you, but that is how I roll. For sure. 1 and 2. And then we're gonna do half a cup of milk. As well as some baking powder. Now this, most people do not feel confident in just eyeballing something like this, but you just kind of get used to it after a while, and you just know what about 2 teaspoons of it might be. I'm gonna mix it all together. Ah, I'm sloshing. I am sloshing. Alright, so you just want to get it mixed really well until everything's combined, and your batter should look about like this. And then you're going to add your blueberries. I think that's everything. Let me double check. Oh, I forgot my salt. You don't want to forget salt. That's what helps activate your baking powder, because cooking is very much a science, of course. And I'm actually going to give just a pinch more baking powder. I feel like maybe I was a little bit shy on that, but okay. We mix this in really good, and then it'll be time for the blueberries. So see, not taking much time at all, you guys. And this time, with this, I'm just more so going to fold the blueberries in. Look at all that. Oh my goodness. All those delicious, delicious blueberries. All right. And so I have a bunch of like cupcake containers that I bought. It feels like 20 years ago. Not really. But it really probably is about 10 years ago that I have had these cupcake wrappers, and they're never ending. I bought them in bulk one time for a birthday party, like that I was making cupcakes for, and I just never came close to ever using that many of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to use those. I'm almost done with them. That's about all I have left, which is still a lot because they stick together really bad. But anyway, I'm gonna line my pan with these.
There's no time to borrow today. Well, something's gotta give today. It's a good day today. It's a good day today. It's a good day to live.
Okay, so this is what they look like. I made sure to empty out as much as the batter as possible into these. They are gonna come up nicely, make these nice little dome caps. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. It's on 375, and I'm gonna stick them in there for about 30 minutes or so, and then check on them and see if they need just a little bit longer. Not gonna lie, you guys, I did lick my finger after I finished filling them, and it's so good. Okay, so now while that is in the oven, I am going to prepare something that I have been enjoying, and that is just really simple overnight oats. Admittedly, I am not a steel cut oats person. I don't like the rough texture of it. I just don't like the texture at all. So I am just using some old-fashioned rolled oats, not instant oats, just old-fashioned rolled oats. Again, I get these from Azure Standard as well. It's a really good price for like organic, gluten-free oats. So literally all you do, and there's so many ways that you can top this too. All you do is just pour in some oats. Because see, I can eat on this throughout the week. So this is going to be more than 1 day's worth of overnight oats. Some of my kids really like this too. Okay, so I just took some milk and filled it up to where it just barely covers my oats. I might actually add just a tiny bit more. Because what this is going to do is it's just going to soak up all of, whoops, that's not a spoon, that was a fork. I'm going to stir it up just to make sure that they're all in some milk. And you don't have to use regular milk. I don't have issues with dairy, and I have it sparingly. So I just went ahead and used dairy. But if you want to use coconut milk, that's really good with it too. But you literally just make sure that it's covered, and then you're going to cover your oats. And you can put, like if you want to put some type of nut butter in it the next morning, like just scoop some out in a bowl, put some nut butter and some fruit of your choice. Or usually I put a little bit of maple syrup and sprinkle fruit of my choice in there. There's lots of things you can do. You can put some chia seeds in there. You can put some flax seed in there. Whatever you want to do. But it makes for just a really, really easy breakfast that sometimes us moms don't really want to think about, you know? So, yay for overnight oats. Y'all are going to think, what the heck is up with this crazy lady? Because now, I have had 2 loaves of sourdough fermenting, whatever, all day long, rising, whatever you want to call it. And so now, I am going to start the process of cooking these so that we'll have these for the next couple of days. Like I said, it's 2 loaves worth, and it's just like traditional loaves. So this is, it's called Everyday Sourdough Loaf, and it's in my favorite artisan sourdough cookbook. Everything that I make sourdough wise, pretty much, with the exception of a few things, comes out of that book, and everything has been like literal perfection with the instructions and how it turns out. So I am just gonna cut this in half. Whoa, something was in the way. These cabinets, 1970s cabinets. Can we just normalize normal kitchens? So, the sourdough is something that I did many years ago, before it was popular. Honestly. My oldest was probably, I guess he was 4, because I had my daughter, and not only was she having stomach issues when I was nursing her, but I was also having some stomach issues, and sourdough seemed to be something that I could eat bread-wise that didn't cause the stomach discomfort for either of us. And plus, it's just really good, and it's healthy for you because it's nice and fermented. Anything fermented is good. So, it's really pretty easy. Yes, it's a process because this is something that has been sitting and rising basically all day, but there's really not much to it. I'm gonna put a cloth over that. I don't have another proofing basket, so that's just gonna have to do. It's about the right size. But what's nice is you really don't need anything ever. You just fold. You mix, let it sit, and you fold. And it makes these beautiful, gorgeous bubbles on the inside. And it makes amazing grilled cheeses when you slice it. We're just gonna do it like this. I probably should have put one of my bread towels to line this, but this will do. So I'm gonna let these rise for the next little bit, and then when my muffins are done, I'll pop these guys in. So a lot of times when it's late, I don't feel like it's late. I'm like typically an 11 o'clock girl is my bedtime. But typically when the kids go to bed, John and I will just chill. We'll kind of catch up at the end of the day. We'll do Bible study. When I do things like this, then typically what I will do is I will listen to a podcast or an audiobook. That's usually what I do, just to kind of listen while I'm doing things. And but yeah, this is kind of where I find I don't like TV. This is typically what I do. I'm kind of weird like that, but I find this comforting and soothing before bed. And so yeah, so this is kind of Megan's nighttime thing that I do. All right, guys, these are the muffins. Now, in the recipe, it says to crush about half of the blueberry muffins. I don't do that. I just threw them in. That was extra work. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I kind of like when the blueberries are like busting open everywhere. Maybe that's just me. But these are the muffins. If you want to, you could also take sugar granules and just kind of put them over the top. I didn't do that because I ran out of my maple sugar, and so that is the muffins. Make them. They are delicious. Now on to the sourdough. I had to up the oven to 450, and I'm gonna get ready to dump this out on some parchment paper and score it up. And then I have to bake this one in here for 20 minutes with the lid on. When that's done with the lid on, then I'm going to pull it out by the parchment paper and put it on one of my iron skillets over there, and then put this one in to here so it can be covered. Also talking to my girl Wendy there. Alright guys, that's the end of this baking sesh. I hope you guys enjoyed. Got my 2 loaves of sourdough for the beginning of the week and these muffins for in the morning. But I'm gonna head to bed. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you on future videos, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.